What is up, guys? It's John and Holzer back for another episode of Roundtable Sports. How you doing, Holes?
I'm doing great, John. How are you doing?
Not doing too bad. Not doing too bad, my guy. So, what are we diving into this week?
You already know that we're diving into Steelers, Cowboys, Packers, 49ers. Basically, just all early window games, all midday, all evening games. Basically, all of the games this week. Saying what do we think happened, what we think, what good, bad, whatever. And first off, I'm just gonna say sorry for not posting on Saturday. Me and John were busy. We just
Very
couldn't
busy.
get it out. And this week, my boy John and I have also been kind of busy. So you guys are gonna be seeing this video Thursday before kickoff. So do enjoy that. We're sorry. We'll be back ready for Saturday, ready to go. John, what did you think about the Packers 49ers game? Oh wait, no, we already talked Packers 49ers. Sorry. We didn't because we missed Saturday. Okay, well,
Yeah.
we'll start with a quick discussion of Packers 49ers. John, I'm just gonna say, Packers did their job. They did good. They beat them. They were playing like modified B team with the
Um.
yeah.
I can't even remember, but I'm pretty sure I predicted Devontae to have a pretty good game, and he ended up coming out with 2 touchdowns. And honestly, in my opinion, I think he's just cementing himself as the best receiver in the league. That's my opinion.
Mhm.
I mean, the stats kind of show that, but you got D Hop, I mean, Stephon Diggs, even Michael Thomas came back, so you never know. Julio's still in that conversation, no doubt, but. Yeah,
And
I mean,
Metcalf.
expected. DK definitely, yeah. DK is my favorite receiver in the league, but I think Devontae is the best receiver in the league right now.
Uh,
But
skill
I mean, what
wise
do you
for sure.
expect? The Packers just
Yeah, they just
got revenge for the 49ers for the NFC Championship game last year.
Yeah, honestly, I just think we should just blow by that game. We already knew Packers were gonna blow them out, and they basically did.
Yeah.
So, John, this was the game that I was interested in. It was Broncos Falcons. Falcons
Uh,
won, finally took the game, but they almost blew another game, John. And this is a occurring theme that keeps happening with this team. They did pull it out though. They're playing better after they fired their head coach, but their old head coach, I should say. But they still are blowing fourth quarter leads. So, what do you think about that?
I mean, the Falcons will be the Falcons, man. There's not much else to say. Uh, I don't. This team has the talent, maybe not defensively, but their offense. I mean, it's not like Todd Gurley's having a bad season. He didn't play very well the other night. I mean, he had a touchdown. He only averaged like 3 yards on the ground, which isn't great. But
Oh,
this
3 yards, not
offense,
even. So it was actually a
yeah.
pretty bad game for him.
But I mean, you Hayden Hurst isn't a bad tight end. You have Julio and you have Calvin Ridley on either side of Matty Ice. Matty Ice is playing well this season. He had a pretty decent game the other night. So I mean, I don't know. I feel like the Falcons should just put it that they should be able to put it get together. But honestly, I think it's coaching and management and
Well,
Dan Quinn kind of messed up that team. So
if they really wanted to be successful this year and last year, they should have just tanked.
you think?
If they could have got top defensive talent both this year and last year, they would have been. They're going to be good because that offense, Matt Ryan is really doing his best. Like
Yeah, he's
he's having
doing.
one of his best seasons.
You think?
Well, statistically, it's there. He's there.
Yeah, yeah. It's just the record isn't showing it.
That's what I'm saying. Matt Ryan is leading the NFL in passing yards.
Yeah.
He only has 5 picks through 9, so that's not bad.
No, not bad at all. And it's not like the Broncos. He threw a pick against the Broncos, but the Broncos don't have a bad defense.
They're
They're
they're,
actually
they're not
they're pretty
bad.
decent.
Bradley Chubb can get to the quarterback.
Yeah, I like Bradley Chubb. And then you got
Von Miller's coming
Justin
back soon too.
Vaughn is coming back. I forgot about that. That's right.
They can get to the quarterback.
Yeah, no doubt, man, no doubt.
They just need
Drew
to get
Lock had
offensive line help. well,
Drew Lock had a he had a decent game.
he
I mean, threw the pick, but not
what I'm
bad.
starting to see with Drew Lock is that he cannot get anything going in the first half, and
Mm,
he's playing
yeah,
like Dak was this season, not doing anything in the first half, getting his team behind, and then having to bring them back and throwing meaningless passing yards, meaningless touchdowns in the game when it's already down so much.
you say
Even
he's
though
playing
the
like
no, no, no. You know how Dak was getting early lead, going behind by 20 points, and then
Yeah,
willing them back. People say he's willing them back, and he's just getting 400, 500 passing yards a game. Well,
I don't know if you can put that on Dak though. I won't get off topic here, but I'm just saying
I'm not
that's
saying it's all Dak. I'm just saying the defense was horrendous for them too. I'm just saying, like, you know how they wouldn't score, they would fumble, they would turn the ball over, and that would be down 21 at half, and Dak would have to
well.
throw for 300 in the second half.
Speaking of the Cowboys, how about we just hop into the Steelers game?
Yeah, Steelers won. They put them away. Juju played good. Juju really came up big this week. He had some
Big
big
Ben,
time catches.
Big Ben carried your offense though.
Ben got hurt and he came back, so just
He
remember that.
he played better after he got hurt too, man.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
now he's on COVID, and now our undefeated season's in question.
uh, who was it? Was it Vance McDonald or that
Vince
had it or
McDonald got it.
yeah? Uh,
Ben's in
I don't know,
quarantine,
man.
so
Again, the season is just so unprecedented. Like nobody really knows what's gonna happen. Uh, I wouldn't
I'm
say I don't know, man. It's just tough.
I'm just gonna
I
say
mean,
this for real. Steelers Cowboys, the fucking Cowboys special teams kept them in that game.
yeah.
Why'd they have the best special teams I've ever seen? They were
I
pulling
always
out
remember.
trick plays, throwing
Yeah,
it across the field. They were running it back like every time. Like
CJ Goodwin or whatever. Never even played
Cedric
good.
Wilson? What was he doing? What were they doing on special teams that just had the Steelers so confused? Because
Yeah,
special teams is what won the game against Baltimore for the Steelers, and their special teams did not play good this week. And they couldn't get to the quarterback because Cowboys were scheming the Steelers out of the game. They were scheming to have TJ Watt and Bud Dupree cover, and they're not cover guys. They want to get to the quarterback. They're not cover guys.
right.
So when they have to play the slot, it's not going to be good for Pittsburgh's defense.
I don't know. Like I love Pittsburgh's defense. That front seven is just. I mean, you can't get any better than that. But
Minka made
I don't
another
know.
play this week. That's like 2 or 3 weeks in a row.
I know I was hard on you about the defense, but I just thought they could have played better, especially against this Cowboys offense. It's not like they have a bad offense, but their O-line is limited, and you have Garrett Gilbert, although he didn't play that bad to be honest. But
Well, the Steelers
um,
couldn't get to the quarterback this week like they
yeah,
usually would.
that was the
They
problem.
only had 2 total sacks, and they usually average probably 4, 5, 6 sacks a game. So
But I mean, Minka's making a statement with that secondary. He's proving that all the doubters that secondary is legit, and he denied Gilbert for the game-winning touchdown. So
he had 2 pass deflections that were pretty clutch, and he had the pick in the end zone.
he
And
did
his last pass deflection was another game-winning or game-sealing one,
right.
just like last week against Baltimore. So I don't know if we should be concerned or not, but the Steelers' defense overall played very well, kept them in that game. Because we know their offense didn't play that great
Oh,
until the second half.
well, yeah. I don't know. Big Ben played really well though. That's all I'm gonna say.
The fourth quarter
Um,
for the Steelers was great. If the fourth quarter could have happened all quarters, it would have been over.
right. They did play really well in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean that's when you want to play your best football. But
Right.
all right, John, let's get into the most weird game of the week that I watched.
What's that?
Seahawks
Oh,
Bills.
Jesus.
What happened to Russ? He's giving up his MVP case.
He's turning the ball over. I mean, he had like he had 3 picks against Arizona 2 weeks ago, and then he throws 2 picks this game. Um,
2 fumbles.
yeah, Russ, you're turning the ball over way too much, man. He's still my MVP candidate. You know, he's my favorite to win it, but you can't win it turning the ball over like
At
that.
that pace, Mahomes has got that. Mahomes
My,
is probably
you
going to
never
win
know.
MVP if he keeps on this pace.
That it's just you can't turn over the ball when you have statistically the worst defense in NFL history, you know? Like
Oh, rough.
Russ, come on, man. I mean, he threw all over them for almost 400 yards, but again, turnovers. He's like the Daniel Jones
The
of that. No,
problem,
I'm not gonna say that.
I don't even understand how the Seahawks even gave up 44. I know there was 4 turnovers, but not Baltimore. The Bills probably rushed for
The Bills' defense
30
is
yards. The
bad,
Bills probably
man.
rushed for 30 yards, 35 yards, and they
Mm,
gave up 44 points.
it. Well, you got that Diggs and the Allen connection, man. I mean, they're legit. I mean, they're a good duo. You can't
Stephon
deny
Diggs is
that.
leading the NFL in targets.
Yeah, and Josh Allen. I mean, granted, he faced the Seahawks defense, but he threw all over them. He had a great game. Josh Allen is still in the MVP conversation, no doubt.
I think he fell out of the conversation, but if he wills his team back and maybe makes a good run at the end of the season, he could come back into it because Russ is leaving the door wide open for guys like Mahomes and Brady.
Right, right.
I don't know about Brady after this week. If
Yeah.
Brady had a big week this week, then it would have been different. But I think Brady's officially out of it unless he goes insane in the second half of the season.
All right.
He's lost.
So
We'll talk about Brady later and
we'll get
that. But
to
let's
that.
just go to Titans Bears. This was actually a very good game. The Bears defense played so good again, but the offense just can't score points.
You want to know who I was really impressed with in this game?
Ooh,
Jeffrey Simmons, man. Jeffrey Simmons played well. I can't remember off the top of my head, but he had three tackles. It's not like you're gonna get a ton of tackles on the line, but he
mm,
had a forced fumble and he had a pass deflection. And his PFF grade was over 90, so he was rated as the best defensive player this week. So
really?
Jeffrey Simmons, man, I think he's an underrated edge rusher.
Yeah.
Or sorry, D tackle, my bad.
I mean, he had a good week. But honestly, I'm not putting that on the Bears defense. I'm putting it on the
Right,
offense and the Titans
right.
defense. Come on. It
You
was
think that
all
they
Titan or it was all Bears offense. They are terrible.
yeah.
How against that defense, the Titans defense, does Allen Robinson only get 7 catches?
I don't know if you can blame it on the entire offense though. I I wanna put it on Foles, but it's not like he had a bad game. I
He
mean,
threw 55,
yeah,
52
I know.
times.
Percentage wasn't that great, but, it makes me just ponder whether they should start Trubisky or not. I
I'm
it's
not
hard to
no,
tell.
John. It was not Nick Foles this week. I'm saying it's that offensive line, the offense in general, because they cannot run the football.
No, I feel man, it's hard. Because I love David Montgomery, but I just he's so inconsistent.
They
You know,
can't run the football. You're
it's not
not
like
gonna
he
win the
big
game with 30 with your lead back with 30 yards. It's just not
right?
gonna happen.
Yeah,
I mean, Nick
but
Foles played a great game. I thought they were gonna lose because of him, but he played good enough. He had a 99 QB, he had a 99 quarterback rating, not QBR, but just 99 total out of 150, I think. So that's not even terrible.
you think
He
it's
had
Matt
like a,
Nagy?
huh?
You think it's Matt Nagy or the offensive line?
I think it's the offensive line first off.
Yeah,
Because
all
they
right.
need to get better on offense at the offensive line, and they need to go get a running back because David Montgomery cannot get you 30 yards a game on 14 carries, averaging 2.1 yards a carry.
I don't know if you can put it on Montgomery though. He's not a bad back. He's not.
He's not good, John. He's not
He's not.
consistent.
He's an average back. He just needs an O line. You know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm saying
That's why
go
Foles is
get
getting
yourself a
benched.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the draft. Why didn't
Mm,
they take someone that could actually help them?
I Holzer, I don't even. I don't know. I that's just me. I don't know if you can put that all in Montgomery. He's not great, but that line isn't very good either. So,
Ugh.
all right. How about we get into the Lions and the Vikings?
Yeah, we can do Lions Vikings. It was just a sad show all day for Matt Stafford. I
Alvin
mean,
Cook.
man, I can't even blame Matt Stafford because he was in quarantine all week and he couldn't practice with his team. So I'm not putting it all on him. It's they just couldn't play because quarantine and COVID's really hurting teams right now.
Yeah.
And the Vikings took full advantage with Dalvin Cook, put 200 on him, and he's just
I
dominating the whole entire league, dude. Right now, the
love
last few
Dalvin.
weeks, just
I
love him
mean,
because he's on your fantasy team.
but dude, I mean, he's he's been on fire like the past 4 weeks, and he was injured a couple weeks ago. Like I mean, like the past 4 weeks that he's played, dude is on fire. I mean, you can argue for other running backs. You can say like Derrick Henry is, or Aaron Jones is, or Alvin is, but I think Dalvin is the best running back right now.
Hmm.
I might be biased because I have him on my fantasy team, but
I
God,
think that Aaron Jones and Dalvin Cook are the two most dynamic running backs in the NFL right now. And
hmm,
Josh Jacobs is coming
Josh
too.
Jacobs. Yeah, I like Josh Jacobs a
But
lot too.
obviously, Derrick Henry's the best runner of the football, in my opinion. Just pure get 3 yards, do it
Yeah,
again, get 3 more yards, get 10 yards, get 2 yards, get 1 yard, get 90 yards. Like, at that size, you just don't see Derrick Henry break him out like that. But you know,
this this Vikings offense runs through Dalvin and Justin Jefferson, and
mhm.
I mean Justin Jefferson is going
Adam
to be a
Thielen too. He has a lot of touchdowns.
Adam Thielen was kind of quiet this week
He
though,
was. So was Justin Jefferson. Because I mean,
but it's
if your guy has 200, keep
yeah,
giving it to him.
yeah, yeah. That Lions rush defense could not do anything against Dalvin.
I mean, all I'm thinking, John, is the Vikings, if they want to stay successful and keep winning football games, is they need to run the ball.
You need to extend Dalvin too, bro. I mean, dude's an animal. Dude is an animal. Oh my god, I love
He is
him.
an animal. But I'm gonna take a quick look at their schedule and see, because they're 3-5 right now, and they could have won a few. They've had a hard schedule too.
I think they do have a hard schedule coming up too. So like for
Okay,
me,
Chicago. That's gonna be rough because the front you're not gonna run on Chicago like you're running on Green Bay and Detroit.
I don't think Dalvin will have a bad game though against
He'll
the
have
Bears.
like 110 yards, probably a
Yeah.
touchdown or two, but he's not gonna go for 200 again.
No.
They got Chicago, Dallas. That's a
Have you
probably
ever
a free one.
like he had a God he had like almost 250 all-purpose yards last week, and then he almost does it again, and he had not last week, but the week before that he had 4 touchdowns. Like
Hmm. Well,
I
this
don't
week
know.
he didn't have any touchdowns through the air.
No.
He had 252 all-purpose yards and 2 touchdowns. So,
But
and you got to think of it like this too. The backup Alexander Madison also had 69 yards on the ground. So
Madison's
those
not a bad backup.
he
He's
averaged
not
6
that
yards a carry,
yeah.
almost.
Mhm.
I just think that COVID really hurt the Lions this week. Matt Stafford threw 2 picks, but I don't know.
Still would have
So,
been a close game, but
John, I'm gonna get your opinion on the Ravens and Colts. And I want to start off by saying, you know how Lamar came out and said, "Oh, they're calling out our plays before we get to the line of scrimmage."
yeah.
Throw the football. He can't. He needs to hit Hollywood Brown deep. He needs to get this connection with Mark Andrews down because he just can't do it.
He's gotta target Andrews and Brown, like you said, more. Uh, I mean, you have no running game. I mean, Lamar's your running game. You know what I mean? You don't have any running backs. We've gone over this before, but Marquise Brown and Mark Andrews deserve the ball more. They're being like deprived of it, and I think it's stupid. And you're not gonna win football games by just running it with your quarterback every single play.
Hollywood Brown had 3 catches, John, and it's
Yeah, they
only
figured out the
3.
Ravens, man. I mean, like, I see quotes online, and people are saying like they're literally running a high school offense, and the more that I think about it, they do, and it's not that hard to stop
This
if
is
you
why the
have.
read option should not be ran in the NFL. This is
I'm
why
sup-
they're running a college and high school offense because this would kill the college teams.
right,
But it's not going to work as much in the NFL once they figure you out. The read option is not a valuable offensive weapon to run every play. And if
dude,
you
it's
can't throw the football, they're just going to put 8 in the box and dare you to throw it on them.
dude, it
Defense is
felt
keeping them in these games.
yeah, they still have a good defense. I mean, you saw that pick six that Philip Rivers threw. If I don't know
Oh my,
if
what is he doing?
he
You
hadn't
see
have
him fall
thrown.
over and he just stepped on him.
It would have been in the game if he hadn't have thrown that too. And
Yeah.
yeah, he's running back to their end zone to try trips. Like what the hell? I get it that you're almost 40, but dude, come on, you're just embarrassing yourself on TV. But
I saw a
that
thing. It's
that
like, it looks like Philip Rivers is playing with his kids in the living room.
dude that Colts backfield is so confusing. You have
Yeah.
Jordan, Naheem Hines, and Jonathan Taylor, and I don't even know what to think of Jonathan Taylor to be
I think
honest.
he's
He,
banged up, but he had a decent week, but he just didn't
he
get
didn't
that many
get the ball
carries.
enough. He didn't get the ball enough. I mean, he had 6 carries, and look, he got in the end zone, so he
I
got
mean,
your only.
He's banged up. I don't know. I just think that the Colts could have won that football game, and
I
it
do too.
really hurt them because it's really gonna hurt them in come playoff time because the Colts are the last seed right now in the playoffs.
I don't.
No, they're
I,
not. They're not anymore. Actually, Las Vegas took their spot
I
because
think
The
Raiders,
Colts
Raiders will be.
had the chance to make the playoffs, and they still do, of course. But they really lost out on a golden opportunity to beat a good like contender like Baltimore.
I think, like I said, I think they should trade for Darnold, and Darnold will be good behind that offensive line.
Or just let Jacoby Brissett go off.
He'll be Brissett. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. I think
Miami
you're.
looked dangerous too. You want to hop right into the Miami game?
Yeah, let's go into Miami. Miami. Tua disappointed last week, but this week he did pretty good. It's not like Tua disappointed. It was his first start.
Hmm.
He only didn't even throw for 100 yards, but he showed out this game. And I don't know. It's too early to jump the gun on Tua, but I liked what I saw, and you saw him. He was scrambling outside of the pocket,
He's
and
moving well.
he proved me
Wasn't
wrong.
scared.
No, he looked very elusive. I think the only problem I have with Tua in this offense is he has to get Devontae the ball more. That's just me, but
Yeah, Devontae only had 6 catches.
yeah.
Hmm.
And
Defense looked. The defense really helped him out too, even though they gave up 31.
mm,
Well, I don't know. Was it the defense? Was you know what it is? I think uh Cardinals, they played really well on offense and all. Where was D Hop?
yeah, D
D
Hop
Hop
got three.
disappeared. I don't understand how D Hop can only touch the ball 3 times.
I it's either Cliff Kingsbury's game plan or Kyler Murray isn't just throwing it his way. I don't know.
I mean, Kyler Murray had a very, very good game.
Yeah, he had a good game. Christian Kirk had a good game too, but
Mhm.
and yeah, Murray went off on the ground. He had almost like 400 all-purpose yards or something.
He
So,
had
um,
100 rushing yards and like 280 passing.
I mean, you can argue that he's the best dual threat in the league.
He is the best dual threat in the league
Yeah,
because he can throw the football.
he took over Lamar, no doubt.
I don't know. Can you argue Russ is a dual threat? I don't know. He's more of a improviser more than a scrambler.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're comparing, I mean, Russ is the better quarterback. He's the better thrower, but Murray doesn't really turn over the ball like he does. I mean, like recently, Russ has been turning over the ball a lot, and Kyler Murray hasn't been. But I don't
Yeah,
know. I think the Cardinals have a chance to win the NFC West.
and Kyler Murray does turn it over quite a bit though. He has 7 picks. I think Russ has 8. So
Mm,
it's not like it's too
right,
different.
right.
But I think that the difference between them obviously is that Kyler uses his legs. But he's
Yeah,
gotta learn to get down and get out of bounds. He's good. He's good at sliding because he played baseball and he knows when to slide and stuff. But all I'm saying is he can't take any of these extra hits
right.
because he's small. I want to see Kyler Murray then be one of the best quarterbacks in the league for the next 10 years because he's very fun to watch.
He will be. Yeah, he's one of the most exciting players to watch, without a doubt.
I just
Uh,
think. Oh,
he puts it
sorry.
on every Sunday.
Hmm.
So,
And
but
he
it's,
always plays his best against competition. It seems like this season.
yeah, yeah. I mean, if the Dolphins hadn't have gotten that touchdown off the fumble, the Cardinals probably would have won. To be honest,
Hmm.
yeah.
I just think Tua didn't play the best football ever, but he played good. He
That
played good enough for them to win. He didn't
yeah,
turn the ball over. He um he just played great. He got yards with his legs, and Miami's defense played terribly, and so did Arizona's. But
and
uh,
I mean, his first start he played the Rams, but you can argue that I think the Cardinals are a better team than the Rams,
oh
honestly.
yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm impressed with what he did against them.
The Rams have better like top heavy players, but the whole roster is better for the Cardinals. Like Aaron Donald's the best out of the two teams for sure. Jalen
Like
Ramsey's up there too.
oh yeah, you're talking defensive players. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
I'm talking about the whole team. Aaron Donald's the best player on both teams.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. I agree. I was gonna.
Hops. I would go Aaron Donald, D Hop, Kyler Murray, Jalen Ramsey, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Hmm. And
All
then
right.
probably Jared Goff after that.
All
But
right. Which game do you want to jump into next?
I think just to piss you off, let's just go to Giants football team. It's not going to piss you off because they won, but they still played horribly. What am I watching? Them kicking the ball to each other 20 yards down the field until finally the Giants could jump on it.
Hey, Blake Martinez, or I think it was Blake Martinez. Yeah, Blake Martinez forced that fumble. So yeah, that was kind of a fuck fest. But I mean, it looked like they were playing clown ball out there, like it was a circus. But we got the turnover, so I'm not disappointed. It was fun to
I
watch.
just it
10
was a
seconds.
it was a good game to watch. It kind of was. It was kind of funny.
The
Like
Giants, the Reds, or sorry, Washington, they always keep it so close. They always keep it so close. But the Giants own them. But
the Giants and the football team are both pretty good on defense.
yeah, they both have good
They
defense.
both struggle on offense.
Yeah,
Especially, it was fun to see Alex Smith come back. He played well. He had a
yep.
75 completion percentage, which was pretty good, but he had those 3 costly picks. He had a game-winning drive pick. Of
Back to
course, he
back.
coughed it up. He had to throw it to him.
He threw it to well, he threw it to his. I don't know if it was Terry, but or no, I think he threw it to J.D.
It
McKissick, and
was
it
the running
got
back, yeah,
stopped
McKissick.
in his hands, and Jabril intercepted it, and then the Giants went 3-and-out on offense, and then Logan Ryan sealed the game for us. So
Mhm.
that was, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, my anxiety was pretty bad during that, but and it
I
was
bet you liked it after he got the second pick. You're like, okay,
Logan Ryan got did that for his wife. His wife was having I think open heart surgery or
that's sad.
something. But yeah, but she's okay now. But
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
good.
she- but I
Realistically, if we're talking seriously, John, the
hmm,
Giants really could be 4 and we'll say 4 and
4-5.
maybe 4 and 5 or maybe pushing 5 and 4. They've choked a lot of games. They should have beat the Bucks,
Yeah,
or they should have at least.
I don't know if
They
they
should
should
have beat the Bucks, dude. Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes,
Oh,
Danny
it should have
Pennies,
been over. Yeah, okay, I agree. Yeah, I
and they should have beat the Bears early in the season.
this team is just oh man, we
And they
don't have
lost to the football team.
no. We beat them
Oh, I
twice.
mean, and they
Eagles.
lost to the
Okay.
America's football team.
Oh, and the Cowboys, but the Eagles was the most heartbreaking loss.
They
But
could have be. They could be literally like one of the better teams in this league statistically right now for wins and losses because they've choked so many games.
an average team. I think they could have.
Yeah, no, you would be like You would be one of the worst best teams. You would have a good record, but you would be terrible because Evan Ingram dropped a game-winning catch.
He
You,
dropped a lot. He dropped like two more passes this game too. I mean, why do we still have
and
him?
then and then Andy Dalton came in and blew that game open.
Mm-hmm.
You lost to the Bucks on a questionable PI, and you should have beat the Bears earlier in the season. That's for potentially 4 wins, John.
Yeah, I know.
You
Yeah,
guys are not looking good. Head coaching looks way better than it has in the past few years.
our coaching is good. Our guys fight for our coaching staff, so I like that. We just need the talent.
You need
But
receiver talent.
yeah, yeah, no doubt, no doubt. We need
You
some
have
people.
some decent names, but they're not playing well, John.
I know. It's Daniel. It's Daniel Jones. I honestly think it is. I think he overthinks things. He's not a bad quarterback, but I'm still on the fence about him. I don't know.
All right, John. What do you think about Chiefs Panthers? This was one of the bigger games of the week.
That was an interesting game to watch. I enjoyed watching the final minutes of it. Um, it's a shame. I don't know. Like you saw, I don't know if you saw the end, but they tried to hit like a 60 plus yarder with Joey
Yeah.
Sly. Wasn't realistic,
I mean,
but
he had the distance. The
he
wind
did.
was just crazy.
Yeah, but Teddy didn't play a bad game. He did okay for me on fantasy, and it
I mean, he
sucks.
managed the game like
Yeah,
perfectly.
it sucks that McCaffrey went down again. I mean, it's like a week to week injury, but still, you see that stud come back and have a pretty good game, and then he just gets hurt again. Well, he had a really good game, not a pretty good
I
game,
mean,
but
he had 10 catches. That's
yeah,
pretty insane.
he scored twice. So
Well, at this point, what can you say about Mahomes leading the team back? They were down a little bit. They bring
might
him
be
back.
MVP favorite. I might agree with you there, actually.
I think he's my MVP favorite. How could he be second in the league in passing yards and 25-1 and not be in that category?
Dude, they don't even rely on the run, and it's not like the Panthers have a bad defense. They're not that bad.
Eli only had 14 rushing yards this game.
They have a decent front seven. They got Brian Burns. They have Derek Brown, the rookie on D line. Uh, Honestly, I can't really name any of their secondary players, but
To me,
um,
John, ever
Mahomes,
since they've brought in Le'Veon Bell, the rush game has gone down. They've been worse on the ground.
yeah, Clyde isn't producing like he did, and he's not even getting the ball like he did.
He
I mean,
he
you have
only
Pat.
had 8 total touches.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, when you have Patrick Mahomes at quarterback, how much do you need to run it on the ground?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. But I think they need to get Clyde involved, and I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't say Le'Veon was a waste of a pickup, but
I mean,
uh,
he helps them, but he hasn't helped them yet.
yeah, I know.
What can you say though about that? The Panthers just look like they want to play football. It looks like they're having fun out there. It looks like they're doing good this season, John.
They're
Teddy
not doing.
Bridgewater has been a great game managing quarterback this year. McCaffrey was an animal. And what do you think about Robbie Anderson? Because he's having a career year this year for
Uh,
Teddy Bridgewater and those
I
guys
like
over there.
I like Robbie Anderson. He just, I mean, this is just me from the perspective of fantasy owner because he's on my team. He just doesn't score enough. He's
Yeah,
only a touchdown or two this year, but he's tearing it up in the receiving yard category, no doubt. So yeah, he only has one touchdown this year, but 751 receiving yards off 60 receptions. That's pretty good. It's pretty
he's
damn
playing
good.
like a solid wide receiver number 2 for a championship team. I'm not saying this team is going to go to a championship or anything. I'm just saying that he could be a good option on a top team.
I'm glad he's not on the Jets anymore. Let's just say that.
He would help them a lot though.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Jets need something. They'd have zero talent on offense.
I mean, it's not like Jamison Crowder's bad, but he's not healthy all the time.
Can't stay on the field.
Yeah, and Denzel Mims, I don't know about him honestly.
He's actually pretty good. He's made some big time, but he can make big plays. Joe Fluco almost just won them the game.
Yeah, John Fluco, shut up.
He
Holy.
threw the ball 50 yards down the field on purpose for it to get picked off so they could win. And that's I guarantee they lost on purpose so they keep the tank alive. I guarantee it. I guarantee the head coach Adam Gase got a call from the managers like, "Hey, I'm gonna have to ask you to throw a pick here. We need Trevor." That's what I guarantee it. I guarantee he threw that pick on purpose.
Patrick lost that game too, but we'll get into that.
You want to just
What?
talk about it right now?
Yeah, why not? Let's just get into it.
It was a terrible game. I can't stand watching the Jets play or the Patriots play anymore. It's honestly awful. They're both two terrible teams. The Jets are just so bad, and they're not going to be good for any time coming soon, even if they get Trevor Lawrence.
It's not like they have the offensive talent to protect Trevor either, but
Why don't they
uh,
just trade? You know what they should do? They should go to a contender that needs a quarterback. Hey, look, you give me your pick and you give me your top offensive weapon, and we'll give you the first pick. And they should keep Sam Darnold, give him a weapon, and get another weapon. 2 weapons, because Sam Darnold is still can be a great quarterback.
yeah,
He
yeah.
hasn't had like any weapon his whole career. He had Le'Veon, but they did not know how to use him. They had Robbie Anderson, and Sam Darnold and the Robbie had a good connection.
That's why I think you should go to the Colts because the Colts have a few pieces.
They have
It's not.
Ty, and they don't use him.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I think he was out this week, but they still just haven't used him this year, and it's pretty sad.
I mean, this is my theory, I think Darnold will go to either San Francisco or I think he'll go to
Ooh,
India.
Sanford.
Yeah,
That's a
but
good spot for him.
If he goes to like Indianapolis, like I think he'll go. I don't know. It's hard because they have Jacoby Brissett, so he could go to San Fran.
Why
But
don't the this is I just had this idea. Why don't the Ravens trade for Sam Darnold and put him at quarterback and put Lamar at running back?
I mean, Lamar wouldn't do that. Lamar wouldn't do that.
I
You
know
know.
I'm just joking, but that would have been funny.
uh,
It would help him out.
yeah.
They would be able to throw the ball a little better. They could run like little options to each other. They could throw it and then he could throw it on the run. It would just be like, it would be better than watching him just run it every time.
Yeah. I mean, you could even put no, you can put Lamar at receiver. I don't
No,
know.
you definitely could put Lamar at receiver.
I guess you could, but I haven't seen him catch, so I
No,
don't
I
know.
mean I'm sure he could catch. But I just think I don't even want to talk about the Jets and Patriots because that's how bad they are. All
All
right, let's
right.
get into the biggest game, one of the biggest games of the week. That was
Well,
a terrible flop. Saints Bucks. What happened? Tom Brady. What happened?
mm, um, I I don't know. The Saints defense is underrated. I think they established themselves as contenders in the NFC. I mean, you could argue that they were before, but Drew Brees didn't play a bad game. He had 4 touchdowns, so yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, he
Uh,
didn't even. He just all he had to do was not throw picks, and that's what he did, and they won because of it.
right. Michael Thomas's return was I feel conflicted because I feel like Drew didn't get him the ball enough, like out of spite, almost in a
Eh,
sense. I don't know that. I don't know, but
Not like they needed to throw the ball all over the place.
yeah, I know. But it's like when you're facing the Bucks defense, like that's what you would think you'd have to do, but they didn't.
Mm,
I don't know. It's just weird because I just didn't expect that game to go down the way it did. You know what I mean? Brady just played
mm.
awful
John,
football.
this is a hot take.
Well,
I'm thinking at the end of the season, Mike Evans is gonna want out of Tampa Bay.
I can see that. Yeah.
I think Mike Evans is gonna want to go to another team because he was getting disrespected. He feels disrespected this season. I feel like because he's just not getting his targets.
He's just
And they're appeasing him with those 1 yard touchdowns.
yeah, they're using him as a red zone weapon. Yeah,
How
I
does
can,
he only get 4 catches?
this Bucks team is gonna dismantle after this year. That's what I think is gonna happen. They have a good defense, but this offense is gonna dismantle. Chris Godwin can't stay healthy. I think I can see Mike Evans wanting out, and AB is probably gonna blow up the locker room. So
And they give Roe Jones, who's been balling, 3 carries, and they give Leonard Fournette 1 carry.
I mean, it's not like Leonard Fournette is like an elite back, but Ronald Jones should be getting the ball more than that. You know what I mean?
And
He's
can
not 3 carries.
also,
I mean,
John, can you tell me
Leonard,
how?
dude, I don't know.
Can you tell me how Gronk only had 1 catch
I know,
on
right?
6 targets? That what was going on this week? Tom Brady could not get his receivers the football. It was one of the worst performances he's ever had in his career.
He might have been intimidated by Breeze and them boys on the defense. You know what I mean? I
Marshawn
mean,
Lattimore is an animal.
Dude, Malcolm Jenkins had a good game too. I was happy to see Malcolm Jenkins play like pretty.
He got a nice pick. He had a nice pass deflection.
They
Uh,
have a pretty balanced out defense too, and I think Brady. Honestly, I think Brady was intimidated by it. Yeah, because you saw how Brady didn't play that well when they played the Saints in the first half of the season.
mhm,
Uh, so I don't know. I mean, Drew Brees has some swagger and he has some bragging rights over Brady right now.
Bragger.
So
Yeah, I just think that Tom Brady needs to go back to the drawing board, get some reps in with Mike Evans because right now Mike Evans is his best receiver. As Chris Godwin would be, but he can't stay on the field. AB should go back to his Lego hair and and go back to 2012 and 2015 when he was the best receiver in the league. And and just ball. They just need to ball. Right now, Tom Brady, tell me this, John. I was looking at the stats. Tom Brady was ranked third for quarterbacks
mhm,
this season,
mhm.
and Mahomes was four.
Where'd you see that?
Pro Football Focus.
That's stupid. What?
Tom Brady was 3 and Mahomes was 4, and Mahomes is second in the NFL in passing yards. He's like one of the highest in QBR. He's 25-1. How is Mahomes 4 and Brady's 3? I don't understand.
PFF needs to get their shit straight over there because that's not accurate, not at all.
That's what
Eh,
I'm saying. That's terrible.
It's got to be changed after this week at least.
That was after the Bucks game.
Are
That
you
was
serious?
after the Bucks Breeze game.
That's
That's after
mm,
Breeze cooked him and Brady threw 3 picks. They said Mahomes was not as good as him this season.
that's us. It's us. That's all I can say.
Terrible.
That is terrible.
John, there's a few more games here. Texans Jags. What do you think about that?
Mm, Jake
Congrats.
Luton
He actually
had
played
a
decent.
70-yard bomb to
I
who
saw
was
that first play. I was like, oh
it?
no,
Shark.
it was to
Shark.
DJ Chark on like third down or something. I was just like, wow,
Yeah,
this guy actually might be good.
James
he
Robinson went off too.
yeah, played pretty good after that. They ran the ball pretty effectively. But he's big. I think Lutton's 6'6", I think, and
I
he's
don't
big
know.
and he's got a big arm. And that's
That
what
yeah,
that team needs because DJ Chark can ball. They got Jamarcus Robinson or James Robinson, sorry. And they could really he can catch the ball, run the football. Honestly, I was thinking, wow, congrats. You're 2-6 now, Houston. With
yeah.
that team, you're 2-6.
Dude, the fact that the Giants are like as good as the Texans, if not better, even though their record doesn't show it, just I don't know what the hell happened to the Texans. They got rid of D Hop and then their team just exploded.
Well, D
It's
Hop was their team.
yeah,
They let
but
their left tackle walk, and they had to go give a first round pick to get Tunsil.
right.
So the Dolphins are going to be good this year in the draft.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, dude, the
Dolphins
Dolphins.
are going to have 4 picks in the first 2 rounds, I think.
I mean, if Tua is the future, then the Dolphins are going to be a really good team.
They're going to get a top receiver. They're going to get a top edge rusher
Mm,
because that's what they need an edge rusher. They don't need a I mean, they just got Byron Jones, so if you want to go get a second guy, they have Xavier Howard. He's getting up there in age.
yeah,
I think they should go get an edge rusher, maybe another offensive lineman.
Xavier Howard is still really good though.
Yeah,
He's
he's
still
playing good.
playing really well.
He's up there. I think he's like tied for like second or third in interceptions.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the Byron Jones trade though,
I mean,
or
they
the
signed him, but
yeah, the pickup. I mean, but because he's getting up there in age and he's just not as productive. So I don't know, but
I don't know, John. I just think that the Texans are wildly underperforming this season,
yeah, I
and
agree.
that's vastly. I mean, they've had probably the hardest schedule in the NFL. I know they played Chiefs, Ravens, Steelers the first like 4 weeks of the season. So I
But
just
you're,
think they're underperforming. I honestly think that the Jets are going to get the first pick, and the second pick is going to go to the Jaguars.
I mean, they're barely edging it out against the Jaguars. I agree with that, but the Texans are just kind of putrid this year. So
Well, if they keep losing, it's really good for the Dolphins because they'll be able to get another
yeah,
great receiver, quarterback, whatever they want to take if they're not sold on 2 at the end of the season.
go get Jamar Chase in the draft. Who knows?
John, me get your opinion on probably one of the better teams in the football team in the league that I did not expect to be this good. And that's the Raiders Chargers. The Raiders played very good this week again. They beat a pretty hot Chargers team.
Yeah,
And I just think that Derek Carr is proving that he could still play.
the game, man.
He game managed again. They gave the bar to Josh Jacobs and the other guy, Booker,
Like,
I think was his name.
yeah,
And Darren Waller had a lot of targets, but they just gotta get that. He would have had a lot better game if they would have just got those targets and the catches. The defense played great, kept the Chargers only 26, which I was kind of surprised. I thought this was going to be more in the 30-30 kind of game.
Henry Ruggs didn't get the ball though. I
I know he had a rush.
yeah, but I'm talking about like the
Yeah.
receiving game. Like, uh, I'm not putting on Derek Carr. I know it can be hard on Derek Carr sometimes. I think he did well. He did. I mean, for what he did on offense and he won against the Chargers, that's just a testament to him as a player and as a quarterback that he's a good quarterback. He just doesn't need to put up big numbers. And
It's because. Oh, you go. I'm sorry.
Justin Herbert played. I don't. It's so hard between Herbert and Burrow, man. It's just I love both those guys and Justin Herbert. I think he's more athletic, but he just every single week he's like a top 10 QB. It feels like he's insane, man.
Keenan had another great week.
Keenan Allen is yeah, he's an underrated receiver. People don't
He's
talk about Keenan Allen
mhm.
enough.
Keenan Allen was a monster with Phil Rivers there for a few years.
Mike Williams too. I forgot about Mike. Mike Williams isn't having a bad year either.
Yeah,
He-
he's
He's a pretty
fairly inconsistent.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're behind Keenan Allen, do you expect to get 100
Well,
yards?
he's more like the deep threat though. He's not like the go give me a 10-yard out, go give me a 5-yard slant. He's more of a go run me a streak and go jump over this corner and give me a touchdown.
Right.
But I kind of like those guys too. Like the Steelers have always had a bunch of those guys. They had Martavis Bryant for a while. They used to have this guy named Mike Wallace.
Was
Um, Mike Wallace was an animal. They had Emmanuel Sanders. He wasn't go get it over the top of you, but he was good.
wasn't bad on the Steelers.
That was the beginning of his career. They had AB when he wasn't Lego hair and blue and red hair and all that. The Steelers have had some wide receiver talent. I don't know why I just brought up the Steelers, but
It's biased Steelers fan, man.
oh my God, John, come on.
All right, you ready to get into week 10, my guy? You ready to get our picks going?
Yeah, I'll throw in my Thursday pick. John, who do you think's gonna win this game? It's a good game. Colts Titans, that's a good game. Who do you think's gonna win this one?
Man. Good offense and bad defense versus mediocre offense and good defense. I don't know. I honestly I think the Titans will come out with it
For sure.
because of Philip Rivers, and even though he's facing the Titans defense, I don't think he'll have that good of a game. I think he might choke for the Colts, but I think it'll be a close game. I'm gonna say I'm gonna have the Titans. I'm gonna say 24-16. So sort of close, not super close, but yeah, I think
I'm
the Titans will win.
saying Titans are gonna they'll blow them out of the water. It's gonna be
Hot
35-15.
hot take, Holzer.
35-15. It's not gonna be close. Derrick Henry's gonna go for 200. On
Whoa,
that front, he's gonna go for 200.
whoa.
Maybe 150, but he's gonna go. He's gonna have 2 touchdowns. He's gonna run all over them. They're not covering the spread. They're only 1-point favorites. It's just gonna happen. I'm sorry. Tannehill's gonna have a great week. They're not gonna turn the ball over, and they're gonna be hungry for some wins. They need some wins.
I think Tannehill will have a good game too.
I
Derrick
think.
Derrick
Oh,
Henry. I don't know. I don't think he'll. I don't think he'll live up to your prediction, but I think he'll rush for over 100 yards and at least get an
he's
end.
going for 150 at least.
Okay, it's not like the Colts have a bad front seven at all.
They don't, but yeah, he's going for 150, 200. I guarantee it.
I was just sticking with his guns here, guys.
I
This is.
think he's. I think he's gonna go for 150. Hey, I guess we'll know on Saturday what he does.
I guess we will know, my guy. Jeez, Pulls, I can't believe you just said that.
I think he's going for 150 at least, maybe 200. He's gonna
200.
run. Nah, I said 150, maybe 200.
Pulls,
He's getting at least a buck 50.
you're teetering.
He's getting at least a buck 50, and he's pushing 200.
We'll see. We got an
Hey,
hour until the game starts.
We'll watch the game, and we'll see him go for 200, John.
We'll see.
All right, John.
That, I'm sorry with that, man.
I really think that really wraps up week 9. Week 9 was such a weird week. The Steelers almost lost to the Cowboys. The Bucks got blown out. The Seahawks lost, and MVP Russ is really lowering his case. Mahomes blew up his case again. Mahomes 25-1. I'm still calling it now. Early season MVP favorite is Mahomes. And John, what do you think of just everything week 9?
Week 9, dude, there are so many close games. Like you said, it was a weird week. I mean, for the exception of, I mean, it was a weird week. I mean, the Saints blew out the Bucks, which nobody expected. The Jets almost won. The Cowboys almost won. It it was weird, but it was
Yeah, it
fun
was
to watch.
really weird. The Giants won.
All right, Holzer. All right. Got to do me like that. All right.
All right. If you did enjoy the podcast, don't forget to drop a like in the video, and don't forget to subscribe to John and Holzer Roundtable Sports Radio.
Yes, sir.
John, I had a great time doing this podcast with you today. I hope that you guys did enjoy the video. As you know, we're the best podcast duo on the game. See you guys later.